Hello viewers, welcome to our Facebook live session. Today we have with us Dr. Abhijit Bagre, consultant
Hi.
pediatric intensivist at Apollo Hospitals, Navi Mumbai. Today we'll be discussing on pediatric emergencies. Doctor, why this topic of discussion is important?
See, compared to adults, children are different. So most important thing is they cannot speak or they cannot communicate their pain. Secondly, they're more vulnerable. Their immunity is less, and because of these two reasons, they are at much higher risk of infections or critical conditions. And it is important to diagnose or pick them early so that we can treat them at right point.
What is a first aid box for home use?
So we all have some home care medicines generally, but I would definitely ensure that all of us should have paracetamol, that is a fever medicine, then cough cold medicines, the vomiting medicines, ORS, and thermometer, which is also important. Local dressing box like a antiseptic solution or local antibiotic, some gauze pieces, cotton in case of any small minor fall should also be there at home. And we should also ensure that when you are traveling outside, we should carry basic medicines. Now, many drugs are available in different formulations, so we should ensure that age appropriate doses with the brand is available and you are aware that what you're carrying and the dosage. Secondly, we should all know which is a good hospital which provides 24/7 care in your area, so we are aware in case of emergency when and where to contact.
How to recognize that my baby is in danger?
It's a very good question, and as I mentioned earlier, also it is difficult for a child to communicate. But by and large, the clinical symptoms include if a child is having very high fever, very irritable, too tired, too weak, not eating well, not well in the sense eating is grossly reduced, urine output is down, breathing difficulty. If you can see a child is breathing in the sense he's breathless, these are the common danger signs. Sudden loss of weight is also an important factor which should be noted. And at the last, since children can be there from 1 month to 18 years, any change in behavior is should be noted by the parent.
What are the common pediatric emergency situations?
So common pediatric complaints I would say are fever, cough, cold, loose motions, vomiting, injuries like fall, accidental ingestion of some medicines. These are and even accidental spillage of hot water. These are the common symptoms or complaints which the parents have, and these are the same complaints which can develop into emergency situations.
Is fever a danger sign, doctor?
Uh, Fever is one of the most common complaints in children. However, every fever is definitely not a danger sign. But I would be worried if there is a fever in first 3 months of life, because this is the time when their immunity is quite low. So the chance of this fever being into a sepsis can be high. Secondly, very high grade fever like 103, 104 and other dangerous signs like if the child is really tired or breathless, or extremely weak, extremely irritable, these are the danger signs which I would be watching for.
What about cough and cold? And can you also explain what is breathlessness?
So cough cold or common cold are very common. So each cough cold is definitely not an emergency that should worry you at night. However, we should remember if there are bouts of cough which start suddenly, that may mean there is aspiration of a foreign body, or if there is a breathing difficulty, means if the child is having difficulty breathing or if he's unable to speak for long. These are the clinical markers which will tell you that this is breathing difficulty for a child, and that is something which should be brought to a medical emergency unit at earliest.
Are symptoms of diarrhea, vomiting worrisome?
Again, diarrhea, vomiting may mean change in food or maybe infection, and each diarrhea, vomiting or is not an emergency situation. However, if the diarrhea is too much for a child, especially who is less than 10 kg, for a small child, too many loose motions, fall in urine output may mean that the baby is moving towards dehydration. Also, watching for activity, irritability are important, and if there is visible blood in the motion, then I think it is an important clue to check an emergency consultation. For vomiting, again, it is not uncommon, but if there is any severe stomach ache, this generally points toward a possibility of a severe illness. So that is something to be considered. And if there is blood in the vomitus or there is greenish vomiting, these generally point towards serious causes of vomiting.
What about abdominal pain?
I think vomiting and abdominal pain can walk together in many situations. So if the abdominal pain is severe, if it is disturbing the sleep, if the child is cranky, the intake has fallen, these are the times, or if it is repetitive, these are the times I think it is important to take an emergency visit even in the late night.
So, children fall commonly. What is a significant trauma?
That's a very good question. So fall in children is common, as you rightly said, but we can see external injuries like hands or legs. But what we are more worried is the internal injuries because they are more dangerous. And the internal injuries are typically in the head, in the chest, or in the abdomen. So these three injuries should be taken quite seriously. Secondly, even for the limb injuries like hands and legs, if there is any visible deformity or any major bleeding which is happening or swelling, may mean there is something major, and that should be looked into.
If the baby falls on head, what should be monitored?
Okay, fall in head, especially up to 1 to 2 years, is not common when they are playing at home. However, if it is direct hit or if it is really fall from height, these are the things which we should be watchful. Secondly, we should clinically monitor for any irritability, any vomiting, loss of consciousness, any abnormal behavior, any convulsions. These are the things which suggest that there might be something inside the body or intracranial pathology which should be ruled out.
When a child falls suddenly, what should be the first response?
I think you're asking about a syncope. So, syncope or sudden fall or loss of consciousness is a common illness in children at times. So, we have to see why this happened. Has the child not eaten for last few hours, or was he standing for a while on a sports ground in the hot sunny day? These are the things which we should be watching. And also, irrespective of the cause, we should ensure that the child lies down on a safer place. He is not lying down on a road or in a difficult situation. Also, you can sprinkle some water on his face, but ensure if the child is sleeping or he is unconscious, don't put anything inside his mouth. These are the things. Then there is something called as recovery position, in which we have to lay the child on a side position so that if there is anything in the mouth like a food particle or any vomitus, they don't block the airway and avoid further serious situation.
What is a fit or convulsion?
Fit or convulsion is basically abnormal repetitive behavior which has resulted from the neurological activities. Just to keep it simple, this is abnormal jerky movements of the body and the child generally loses consciousness. Now this is at times scary if you're seeing it for the first time. So what I would definitely say is keep the child in a comfortable position, keep him on the right or left side of the body so that his airway is open, and putting water in the mouth or onions or the keys or let him smell the socks or something. Don't stop the convulsion. So what is very important is stop panicking, keep him in a comfortable position in the right or left lateral position, and then take the child to the nearest hospital.
If baby is crying inconsolably, talking irrelevant, behaving abnormally, what should a parent do?
So extremely irritable child, the cause can be anything. A 3-month child who is crying inconsolably, it can be irritability because of meningitis, it can be stomach ache, it can be some surgical abdomen, it can be anything. So these are the inconsolable cry situation should always be looked very, very cautiously. So irritability or abnormal behavior may also point towards something related to brain or dysfunction. So these should be looked into carefully, and if the behavior is persistently abnormal, should take for emergency consultation.
If we see any burn injuries in children, what should be the first response of attendant?
So burn injuries are related to generally accidental spillage of hot water or oil at home. The other burn injuries like exposure to fire or extremely cold items or chemicals are not very common in children. Uh, but the simple rules which include are you should remove the child from that situation first. Second, wash the skin with ample amount of cold water so that water is there on the skin gets washed out. And after that, we should take a emergency visit to the hospital. Also, ensuring adequate water intake in the first 24 to 48 hours after the births, either through orally or through IV if he's in hospital, is very, very crucial.
What is poisoning? How common it is? Is it seen in children?
Okay, so poisoning is basically a wrong substance, wrong dose, or wrong site. And all the items inside our house, like medicines or a good night or a mosquito repellents or ointments, anything can become a poisonous or hazardous substance for the child. So they should be kept out of reach from a child. Number two, then if there is anything happening, if a tablet of a relative is missing and if you think the child has consumed the tablet, he should be taken to the hospital and then the doctor should be taking care in the further course. So any accidental exposure should always be taken with lot of precautions.
When a dog bites a child, what should be done?
Dog bites are common in children, and what is very important to remember, even a scratch of a nail or a teeth is significant dog bite. Only big bites or any bleeding is not a significant bite. So these rabies is a potential threat, and believe me, it is preventable to great extent by simple vaccination. So all the dog bites should be taken to the hospital. Secondly, the wound should be washed with ample amount of water and soap at home, and this is very much possible. So after doing that, you can visit to the nearest hospital.
What should be done if a snake bites a child?
Snake bites are not rare, and even in Navi Mumbai we have at times seen snake bites in children. So remember, snake bites exist, and they can generally 80% of the bites are related to non-poisonous snake. So it is very important we don't panic. However, the effects can be seen after 12 to 24 hours also. So taking to the hospital is very important. Secondly, keeping the limb immobilized. So if there is a bite on the lower limb like leg, keep it tied with a hard plastic or a rod and take to the nearest hospital. Don't panic. And this is what is the first step to be taken. Then the next steps will be taken by the healthcare facility.
What about COVID-19 infection in children?
The whole world is facing this COVID pandemic right now. And what is very important is to know that fortunately children are at slightly suffering from this illness slightly lesser than adults. Also, the severity of the illness in children is slightly lesser than adults. So these are the two important points. And at Apollo hospitals, we have a separate flu clinic where we are seeing the children with following all the protocols, and this is how we are ensuring that the care is provided to the children.
Thank you, Doctor, for joining this session. Dear viewers, if you have any questions related to this topic, please drop your questions in the comment box and we'll address it to Dr. Abhijit shortly.
Thank you.